the release of Bloons TD Battles 2 out, we're all starting at the ground level with pretty much nothing unlocked. Every tower only has a couple of tiers unlocked, and it's a struggle out there. So in today's video, Sabre and I are going to be showing you guys a couple of awesome beginner strategies and towers to help you rise through the ranks in Bloons TD Battles 2. So when you finish the tutorial for Bloons TD Battles 2, you'll have two heroes, which is Quincy and Gwendolyn. I'll be using Gwendolyn and Sabre will be using Quincy. For my strategy, I'm going to be using Ice Monkey, Wizard Monkey, and Bomb Shooter. You want to be able to pop every single type of balloon and make sure you're going to be able to, pop everything. Sabre, what are you going to be using?
So for my strat, what I'm going to be doing is I'm starting very simply. I haven't played as much TD Battles as Ryan, so I'm even having to go on a simpler strategy. So what I'm going to be running is Quincy, Buccaneer, Tack Shooter, and Bomb Shooter. And as long as you don't really have to deal with any camos, which in the beginning of TD Battles 2, you don't have to in the beginning tiers, this should be a solid form of a solid deck per se. So let's go ahead and actually just hit the battle. Let's do it, man. Let's see what happens.
Now, the first thing that you're going to want to focus on is making sure that your opponent can't rush and immediately take a couple of lives from you. And that's why I'm going to be starting off with the Ice Monkey, because the Ice Monkey does a great job at stopping early game rushes.
Now, what I'm going to do is I've got the Tack Shooter, which is basically what Ryan just explained, but for someone who doesn't have the Ice Monkey. So I'm going to put the Tack Shooter down in a corner and try and prevent an early game rush by using the Tack Shooter. You can already see that Ryan's pushing a lot of red balloons out to me, and I'm able to stop it completely, whereas I'm pretty sure if I had Quincy down instead as my first tower, I wouldn't be able to handle his complete rush of red balloons immediately.
Look at this beautiful Ice Monkey. Look at him, just
Oh, dude, that's satisfying, man. That's real satisfying.
It's really strong. Like, it's super strong.
Okay, I got you. All right, so let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and throw down Quincy now that I actually do have a solid amount of, a solid leeway, as well as you can see, I don't know, obviously Ryan's doing it too. We are immediately sending out balloons. We're trying to get our eco up super quick. A lot of people in early game, if you guys didn't see our video yesterday, a lot of people early game don't send balloons. They focus on placing towers rather than eco, and that bites them in the butt a lot in the late game. A lot.
A lot. So you always want to be careful with that.
So what I'm seeing right now, obviously Ryan and I are battling each other, but we also want to talk about how our strats are going. I already see that Ryan has 2 of his 3 towers down being magic. So obviously if that's his continued path, late game, I know purple balloons would be the path in rushing. If I did like a balloon rush on him, that would probably be my best chance. Right, Ryan?
Absolutely no. That's a very good observation. You always want to be paying attention to what your opponent has, and you want to look for their weaknesses early on so that way you can capitalize on that, because this is a game of, well, paying attention, making sure that you know what's going on. So I know that purple balloons could be my downfall, and that's why I'm very much so trying for that to not happen and trying to get some cluster bombs here, because that's going to be mwah, 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 mwah.
Yeah, I'm probably
now, I am going to have my biggest problem will be camo purples. Like, I literally will not be able to pop them, but in earlier stages, you're not going to be able to send camo balloons, so we're just going to pretend that that's not a thing.
We're gonna avoid camos. If you are just starting Bloons TD Battles 2, you don't need to worry about camos in the early tiers facing against people. So yeah, like Ryan said, I don't think we're gonna, so we're not sending camos, yeah, Ryan?
No camos, no camos.
Okay.
Now, let me kind of talk about eco. Eco stands for economy. You can tell it by in the very top of your screen, it's that green number there. And you always get whatever that green number is added to your balance every time this gold coin completes its cycle. So you can get that by sending balloons. So a good thing to kind of keep in mind is in the beginning, you want to send red balloons. Round 3 or 4, you want to start sending some green balloons, and then pink balloons are your end all. But you don't want to send, get this Ice Monkey off my screen. You see how it says ×3? Well, you want to make sure your pink balloons are at around ×4 before you start really sending those things, because that's going to be absolute efficiency.
Beauty. It's a beauty.
Yeah. Well said.
I'm going to go ahead and get a Buccaneer down here in a second, Ryan. Now, the placement, though, I'm a little worried about the placement of the Buccaneer. It's not able to cover as much on this map as I would like it to cover, but that's all right.
Yeah, that's very understandable.
Now, I did get Hotshot, Ryan, for the record, so I am able to get to Hotshot on Buccaneer now.
Hotshot is really, really nice. Now, something to keep in mind, which is really important, so is synergy with your towers. You don't want to have things that are anti-combos. For example, I have the ice monkeys here. Ice monkeys freeze balloons, and when balloons are frozen, well, normal dart monkeys will not be able to damage them. But luckily, since I have more of magic and explosions, when the balloons are frozen, well, you're able to pop them using magic and explosions.
Okay, well, it looks like you've got
Okay, sure.
So we're still we're still in the early game right now. We're round 12. I think things start ramping up. You know, within a few rounds here, things are going to get a little more sweaty. Luckily, I see that you have one camo. Luckily, Quincy does pop camos. So, you know, if you get one or two I'm sending the wrong balloons. Yikes, that is actually sad. I got to pay attention.
You always want to be paying
attention to that hotkey. Well, I'm using the hotkeys. So if you guys are on PC and you're watching this, there's a lot of hotkeys, and hotkeys are the play when you're playing this. So when you're sending out balloons, you should probably be hotkeying, sending out the balloons, and not actually spamming with your mouse, because if you're spamming with your mouse, you're not going to be having a good time. You're going to be taking a lot of that mouse clicking away from being able to place down towers and do other things. So you want to be paying attention to that.
You can't place it?
I'm trying to finesse something, but I can't. It's fine. All right, there we go.
I want more ice monkeys. I need more ice monkeys in my life.
Do ya now?
Ice monkeys are so good. I love ice monkeys.
Luckily, I've got Hotshot now, so I can actually handle lead balloons like kind of no problem. Luckily.
But now that you've gotten Hotshot, you're weak to purple balloons.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Well, luckily, I've got some tack shooters for that. So I don't know. Maybe I got to spam some more tack shooters down. You know, it's always that balance. You got to find that balance. Now, clearly, I'm a lot more of a noob than Ryan here. So you can see his strat's probably a little cleaner than mine. But I'm also working with less. So we'll see what you can do with the base towers that you pretty much have. The only non-base tower I have right now is the Buccaneer. Other than that,
true.
I'm using base towers.
So right now, if I were to send things at you, I would want to be paying attention to what's going to be the best option here. It looks like you are going to really struggle dealing with ceramic balloons, right? So I can see that. So right now, I want to kind of save up and get ready to launch something at you. Normally, I wouldn't be telling my opponent I'd be sending something at them.
But since he's told me, now I am going to prepare for a rush of ceramic balloons. And by doing that, I am going to be trying to raise my AoE. So I'm going to be putting down a bunch of bomb shooters and hope that I can actually protect. I've noticed that Ryan hasn't sent too many balloons recently, meaning that I'm guessing he is saving his eco up to do a rush in a moment. So you want to pay attention to what your opponent's doing in terms of what they're sending out. If they're not sending anything, then they could very well be getting ready to do a crazy rush. There it is right here. Let's see what happens.
Clicked on the balloon boost, so that way the balloons are going to be way stronger, so now I'll just be able to send a whole bunch of, you know, regen balloons, and he's able to deal with that pretty well.
Luckily, I put down a bunch of tack shooters right as he did that, so...
Yeah. Now, since I can't deal with these camos that well, I am actually going to lose a couple of lives, which is not ideal.
Oh, yeah, you did lose some lives.
Not ideal. Not ideal
I didn't
here.
mean to do that. Okay,
so now what I need to do is end this very quickly, because Sabre is definitely kind of getting the advantage on me. I'm really bad against camo balloons, so I really need to be thinking about what's the best solution to finish this game out quickly.
So now that Ryan has sent his rush, by the way, I've actually been saving some of my eco up, and we're gonna go ahead and see what he can handle, my guy.
Okay, well, let's see what you're gonna be sending. Purple balloons. Okay, I'm not too worried about
Sending a lot of purples out.
What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna press spacebar and I'm gonna get my boost, so that way my recursive
you stopped that no problem.
Be able to do that.
Yeah, you literally stopped that absolutely no problem.
So now what I'm gonna do is I'm actually going to send a BFB at him, and now what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna send a bunch. I'm gonna balloon boost, and I'm gonna send a bunch of ceramic balloons. Why am I gonna do this? Because I want his towers to be focusing on the ceramics instead of the BFB. So I want to constantly be sending balloons, so his towers are a little bit more preoccupied with this. Oh no, rainbow camels are gonna come through though.
Oh, so I technically won. I technically won that. I
technically
actually can't believe I technically won
Yeah,
that.
you technically won that because I wasn't paying attention and camo balloons were eventually able to get by. So you always want to make sure that you're paying attention to what you have. I probably made a mistake by not having enough camo detection, but sometimes that's just how it goes.
One further note,
try again?
One further note real quick for that, by the way, is that while Ryan was saying that he wanted my towers to be a little distracted, I was actually also going to be setting some of my bomb shooters to be focusing strong so that they wouldn't be distracted and they would just focus that BFB and get it injured as quick as possible. But yes, Ryan, let's go ahead and try another one.
So now we're changing it up a little bit. I'm actually going to go and do a new strategy where we're actually going to use just every beginning base tower that you have, which is tack shooter, bomb shooter, and dart monkey, as well as Quincy. So this is just, you're going in with nothing,
Base,
and I'll be
nothing.
Base,
Gotcha.
Base, nothing. And I won't be using, I have some of the upgrades already unlocked, but I'm not going to go above a T2 for any tower.
Tewtiy ain't going above a T2. Absolutely crazy, dude.
So one of the things you want to keep in mind is putting down a hero right at the start could be beneficial, but they're pretty expensive. So instead of that, I'm actually just going to go ahead and just put down a regular tack shooter.
Okay. So in honor of you doing it, I will only go to T2s as well, Ryan, and we'll go ahead and see how this battle is going to go. Obviously, I still have the Buccaneer, but I don't even think my Buccaneer's past T2 anyways. So I think it
hey,
works
so
out.
You know what? Yeah, it kind of works out perfectly for that one. I'm just going to keep sending, trying to get a little bit more money.
Oh, see, I've already made the first mistake. I haven't sent anything, so you're already ahead on eco. That's kind of a problem.
So I'm already at 280 eco.
I'm at 265, so I'm a little behind. Luckily, this early, like that little difference, like probably not too crazy. I could probably make a little comeback, but I definitely need to step up my game for sure, dude.
There we go. See, now and you always want to think about placements for your tack shooters, right?
Of course.
And whatever tower you're placing down, you want to make sure you always optimize. Look at how Sabre placed that tack shooter down. I see that T3.
Oh,
That's not
oh wait, was that a T3?
No, I'm just messing
Oh,
with you. I look like a T2.
Okay. Right. Yeah, so I'm definitely trying to optimize placements. When you have a tower selected, you can see their range, which is this hollowed circle, and you want to try and optimize as much of the path into that circle as possible. So you want to find curves. You want to find where you're gonna be able to optimize that.
Absolutely. All right, now that it started on round 3, I'm actually gonna go ahead and start sending some green balloons at you because that's gonna apply more pressure to you. And then green balloons are faster than red balloons. So an idea and a small strategy you can do is see how the green balloons are overlapping the red balloons that I'm sending. So it's actually kind of doubling up and making it a little bit more difficult to deal with. Now, obviously, he was able to deal with that, but in later rounds, that's something to keep in mind.
Okay, well, let's see
nice
here.
Level up.
I've got the Buccaneer. Not too much space for some water towers here, but I'm gonna make it work nonetheless. Let's see what I can do here.
Boom.
Come on.
Just getting some big explosions up in here.
Oh, okay. All right. So I'm actually shocked that I
explosion.
won that last one. I guess you literally just didn't have any preparation for camo balloons. So
yeah, camo balloons just messed my day up. I
Which
was
is
just not ready for that.
totally understandable, dude. Have a great day. Have a great day.
Yeah, you too.
Because I'm going to grab Grape Shot. I'm going to grab Hot Shot here. Just kind of get moving. I'm still pretty low. What's your eco at right now, Ryan?
Right now, my eco's at 427.
Okay, so I did make a little bit of a comeback. So it shows even if you do slack a little in the beginning, you can make a comeback if you're very adamant about it. So because I've been very on top of it.
Sending. Yeah, and you're doing a great job of it. So you just got to keep sending it. There we go. And one thing that you want to keep in mind when you go into a Bloons TD Battles game is your win condition and how do you achieve it, right? Do you want to go late game? Do you want to have the game be over early? And that's always something that you really, really want to keep in mind because this game, the possibilities really are limitless and with the strategies and things that you can do. For example, if you want to have an early game strategy with an early game rush where you try to just completely like destroy your opponent and you want to make sure that you can take it home, you can always sell towers to get extra money.
Oh, that's genius. I never would have considered that. That's actually genius.
And I actually beat, who was it? It was H2K Titan we were playing, and he was talking about rushing at like round 26.
Yeah.
Round 25 rolled around, and I sold pretty much every single one of my towers just so I could rush him.
Oh my gosh, dude. Oh my gosh. You know, I gotta say,
So-
the Buccaneer's really helping me out on this loop. You know, with the placement, he can hit both sides beautifully. So he is being optimized quite well right now.
Right, and so something to keep in mind is is he has his Buccaneer, right, with flaming shots, so he's not going to be able to pop purple balloons. So what I'm actually going to end up doing is I'm going to sell both of these towers, which is going to give me more money. I'm going to boost, and then I'm going to rush him with purple balloons, which his Buccaneer will not be able to pop, and the other towers have no chance.
I actually might straight up lose right here.
And
this
then
might
so
be
you'll just straight up lose.
That's it. So what should I have done there, Ryan?
So as soon as you saw that I sold my towers and I saw and I used the balloon boost, you should have immediately paid attention to what I was sending. So you know round 11 was coming. So you know that round 11 is purple balloons, which is the strongest thing to send. So you immediately should have put down a Buccaneer, got grape shots, that's not hot shots, and double shots, more tack shooters, and then you would want, you also didn't use your balloon boost.
Yeah, I was gonna say I could have used my tower boost. You mean
your tower? Yeah, your tower boost. So your towers would attack.
Right. So there's a lot I could have done in hindsight there, but you know what? That's a good lesson learned. I need to keep that in mind. I need to remember when certain balloons become unlocked. I think that's like definitely if you want to get really sweaty in this game, you gotta memorize certain rounds and what happens on them so you can prepare for them. Because I was not prepared.
Something to keep in mind. This is really good information. If you play BTD6 a lot in Bloons TD Battles 2, the rounds are just all of the even rounds for BTD6. So for example, the first camo balloon shows up on round 24 in BTD6. Well, the first camo balloon shows up on round 12 in this.
Really?
First Moab's round 40 in BTD6.
20.
First Moab's round 20.
Interesting.
So it's pretty much that. So that's always something good to keep in mind if you play a lot of Bloons TD6.
Okay.
And that is where we're going to end off this video. I hope you learned something. If you did, please hit that like button, share it around with your friends, subscribe to the channel if you're new. We upload videos every single day on Bloons content, Bloons TD6, Bloons TD Battles 2, meme reviews. We do the whole kit and caboodle. A lot. Yeah, absolutely a lot. So thank you so much for watching. You're YouTubers, we're Tuber, and this has been a Bloons TD Battles tutorial.
See ya!
Bye, friends.